maximize the volume of a cylinder and minimize the surface area of a cylinder. Okay, this time, in order to maximize the volume of a cylinder and minimize the surface area of a cylinder, okay, the height must equal the diameter. So it's almost very similar to the cube. So if you remember the final question in the cube, it had something like this where there was like a tall square-based prism, and then there was a short, flat, square-based prism, right? And then it had a cube one, if you remember this. So basically, a cube is going to be short and fat. Well, the exact same thing with the cylinder, okay? If the cylinder, this is going to be a cylinder now, is tall and skinny, it's not going to maximize the volume or minimize the surface area. If it's really short and fat, it's not going to. But it's very, let's say, proportioned, okay? So the height is going to equal the diameter. That is the one that's going to maximize the volume and minimize the surface area. So a little bit about this. Height must equal diameter. That means height must equal 2r, right? Because remember, diameter just equals 2r. So these are the same formula right here. So I'm going to show you where we actually get this. So surface area of a cylinder. We have two circles, which is going to be 2 times pi r squared. And then we have we have the lateral surface, okay? And we know that this lateral surface here is the circumference, 2 pi r, and then we're going to times it by the height. Okay, so here's where we get the formula. We take, what does the height equal? 2r. Take the height, plug it in where the h is, okay? So we have 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r times 2r. Well, what's 2 pi r times 2r? I get 4 from the 2 times 2, and then r squared from the r times the r. So 2 pi r squared plus 4 pi r squared. Well, this is beautiful. Now, pi r squared and pi r squared, these are like terms. It's just 6 pi r squared. That's it. That's where we get the surface area equation from. Okay, and now volume. Exact same idea for volume. Okay, so usually the volume of a cylinder, I'm just going to squeeze this in here, is pi r squared h. But instead of writing h, we're actually this time going to sub in 2r. Okay, so we have r times r squared. So we get 2 pi r cubed. And that is where we get this formula from. So just very simply, if you cannot remember these formulas, you can simply take the surface area of a cylinder or the volume of a cylinder, and you can sub in 2r for the height. You'll get the exact same answer.